Hello and welcome to the September 15th, 2023 episode of Watching the Tape. This week's topic is withdrawal sequencing in retirement. How much and when should you pull from the three main account types during your retirement years? The three main account types being, of course, taxable, which includes your joint brokerage account, for example, tax deferred, which is your IRA, and tax free, which is your Roth IRA. We'll play this out. Let's say you're approaching retirement and are starting to wonder how you're going to fund your lifestyle when you stop collecting wages. You've saved and invested well over the years, and you have a nest egg composed of the three main account types. Again, that's taxable, it's tax deferred, and it's tax free. The portfolio breakdown might look something like this: $500,000 in taxable accounts, $2 million in IRAs, and $100,000 in Roth IRAs. In what order or sequence should you pull funds from each account type? If we ask Google, we'll get an answer. Withdrawal sequence retirement. Here we go. Traditionally, tax professionals suggest withdrawing first from taxable accounts, then tax-deferred accounts, and finally Roth accounts where withdrawals are tax-free. The goal is to allow tax-deferred assets the opportunity to grow over time. If you conduct your own internet search and click through the articles that pop up, you will come across this same order. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll find some exceptions that can be very helpful in understanding all of this. I do not think it's ever as simple as strictly following this order. The withdrawal sequence should be customized for each person or couple depending on their tax situation. Allow me to share a couple examples, and it's unlikely that these will apply specifically to you, but they might give you a sense of what I mean about the importance of customization when it comes to withdrawal sequencing. First, we have a married couple with the portfolio that I presented earlier. $500,000 in taxable accounts, $2 million in IRAs, and $100,000 in Roth IRAs. They're each 60 years old and they just retired. They don't have a pension, they're not collecting Social Security, which means that they are in a low tax bracket. They could pull $100,000 from their tax-deferred IRAs and pay taxes on that at a rate of 10 and 12%. If you can pull from your IRA in the 12% tax bracket, then you should do it. And they would still have plenty of room in the 0% capital gains tax bracket for the dividends generated by their taxable portfolio. So that dividend income would not be taxed. And so for simplicity, we're assuming that their taxable portfolio is all stocks and any fixed income investments they have are in tax-deferred IRAs. For the second example, let's say we have a married couple with $3 million in taxable accounts, $3 million in tax-deferred IRAs, and $500,000 in Roth IRAs. This couple has considerable wealth, but they do not have an extravagant lifestyle, and they plan to leave a lot of money to their children. It's everybody's dream, parents. If an important goal is transferring wealth to the next generation, then it's helpful to think about what the best account types are to give to your children. And the answer is taxable and tax-free, not tax-deferred IRAs. But remember, the so-called traditional withdrawal sequence would have this couple drawing down on their taxable account first to fund their lifestyle. And we'll add an additional factor. This couple started investing many years ago in their taxable account. The cost basis is low. Let's say it's $1 million, and today the fair market value is $3 million. So if they start selling securities to fund their lifestyle, they would realize hefty capital gains and essentially incur capital gains taxes that would not have to be paid if instead the account were left untouched until at least one spouse passes away. When one spouse dies, the other spouse benefits from the step up in cost basis to the fair market value of those investments at death. The surviving spouse can then sell all those investments and pay no capital gains taxes. And the same goes for the children who eventually inherit the account after the second spouse dies. There would be another step up in the cost basis to the fair market value at the date of death of that second spouse. Those are just two examples of exceptions to the rule. The reality is that the sources of your retirement funds should be evaluated every year in order to ensure that you're being as tax efficient as possible over the long term. And by long term, I mean beyond your own lifespan in some cases. Everyone's situation is unique. You don't want to miss an opportunity to be tax smart in any given year because you can't turn back the clock and change those decisions later. That is it for this week. If you found this video helpful or interesting and can think of anyone else who might benefit from the content, please share it. We'll see you in 2 weeks.